20 minutes away from 9.
Kids, they're bundles of energy, but they need the right snacks to keep them going. That's why I give my kids Fruity Bars.
Nick Minute.
Fool.
Should we be laughing at the woman who falls through the glass coffee table? Vaughn Davis here at tgf.co.nz for ads, social media and aeroplanes. That, of course, was the ACC ad.
Yeah, ACC must be 10 years old. There was a good ad at the time, but, the Nick Minute makes it better.
It does make it better. And
they should run the damn thing again.
There's the guy who slips over in the shower. The guy falls off the ladder.
Yeah.
I want to see a series of those again.
Endless fun. People getting not really hurt, and it's no one we know.
Yeah.
So what can possibly go wrong? Yeah, Nick Minute just goes and goes and goes, and I know there's the passionless people out there saying, when will this end? This is so boring. But bugger it, it's a New Zealand meme. It was
still working.
Invented here. It's still got legs. I've heard of but not seen. There's an ad for a Polytech, I think, like an enrolment ad has picked up on it. So it'll keep on going.
Okay.
And long may it rain.
I think Peter Sharples used it.
He did, yeah.
As well.
Peter Sharples talking. Everyone's looking at National and Labour, Nick Minute, Winston Peters. So I like it.
Something that might still work, because it worked back in the day, was the old Telecom Spot the Dog.
Yeah, I was looking for a great new ad to talk about today, and I just didn't find one. So I thought, what about the great old ads? And Spot the Dog was a campaign that ran from 1991 to 1998.
R.I.P. Spot the Dog.
R.I.P. He died in 2000. Once he turned to drugs and alcohol once he was off the small screen. It was sort of pointless life. But
he was famous for a while. He was out on show quite often.
Absolutely.
Doing road shows.
Apparently he rated almost double figures in a New Zealand listener poll for preferred Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
And that was really the heyday for, was it Telecom and Saatchi and Saatchi?
Yeah, but I mean, those two companies are still together. After all these years.
Oh, I keep on thinking that they're about to split up.
No. And ran for 7 years, and just the production value and the music scoring and the performance from the people is just absolutely fantastic.
And that was around the same time as the Ducks as well, eh?
Oh, the Saatchi's honking geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the confident days of Saatchi and Saatchi, which they may well be returning to.
And the heyday of Telecom, of course, in the 90s, when they had the monopoly going, and apparently like they're partying again like it's 1991.
Oh yeah, well there was a bit of a do yesterday apparently, where the chorus people and the Telecom people sort of officially cut the cord, which is it's all
I'd like
going on.
to.
But
I'd like to cut the cord.
Do you know what SPOT stands for?
No.
It's an acronym.
Is it?
It's the services and products of Telecom.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it always that?
It always
Did they ever
was.
put that in the ad at the end? Or?
I think they might have. Yeah.
Was it an internal kind of in-joke?
No, it wasn't. Like, I think jokes are a very strong word. Got to laugh at a joke.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Let's stay with advertising. TVNZ7 rumoured to be turning into a shopping channel.
Because what the world needs now is,
That's right. Shopping channels, aren't they like 1980s or something?
No, they're not. They're booming in Europe, the United States, the UK, mainly because, with digital it's easier and easier to get a digital TV frequency. So the barriers to entry are really low. If you can get someone with nice teeth sitting in a studio facing a camera saying, we only have 20 of these left at this price call now, you've got a business.
Isn't that where washed out Good Morning hosts end up, on shopping channels?
I thought they ended up on Daily Deals sites, buddy. Don't mention the war. But the rumour is that it's a non-denied news story that Ogilvy, which is one of the big advertising agencies in town, with its own sort of production resource. They do a lot of the Briscoes and Rebel Sport advertising and stuff like that. The rumour is they want to pick up the frequency, so no more, Ad Show Media 7 backbenches or anything vaguely creative.
What do you say? Because it's so outrageous, so ludicrous. You got the full spectrum of broadcasting, right? At one end you got public service, for the good of the people broadcasting, and at the other end you have a shopping channel. There is,
but guess who's going to get more viewers?
Really?
Yeah, I guarantee it. More people are going to tune in and watch infomercials about the magic
The
laser
abdominalizer
steam mop
Yeah.
than ever watched, Media 7 or the Ad Show, which is it reflects the world in which we live.
Oh, no
Yes.
good. Talking about the world we live, Facebook.
What kind of segue is that?
Talking
They can
about
go to anything.
Exactly.
Apart from outer
It's perfect.
space.
Thanks for handing it to me.
You're
Facebook, floating.
$100 billion.
Yeah, what does it mean?
It means nothing. What it means is they've hit 500 shareholders because they've got 3,000 employees in the States. A lot of them got share options, and the rules over there say that if you have 500 shareholders, you have to make it a public offering and disclose your financial information. So it's not like they're going, we need money. They're really they're bound to do it because they've got so many shareholders now.
Safe bet. Would you get some shares if you had
Would
a
I get
chance?
some shares? Oh, interesting. Yeah, or are its best days behind it? Don't know. I mean, I'm not.
Just at one point, people thought MySpace was a safe bet, right?
MySpace, Bebo, all these things. Yeah. And what did MySpace sell for? Sold.
Yeah, it was like 100 million or something,
Yeah.
but now it's worth maybe half that, and falling every day. Okay. I don't know if we could even buy them here in New Zealand. I suppose there's a way. There'd be a way of doing it.
I'm sure there's a way.
If
you can buy Netflix and iTunes movies by saying you're somewhere else, I'm sure you can buy Facebook.
This is true. On to aeroplanes. A video that's been doing the rounds this week is the Jetpack Man.
Yeah, Yves Rossi. Interesting. This sort of stuff's actually been going on since the 1940s. I've got an old flying magazine at home from back then of a guy with a rigid wing that he jumped out of balloons and helicopters with and flew around. The advent of really small jet motors has made it possible to actually maintain and increase altitude. And this guy flies at only 125 miles an hour. So this footage has got him formatting with some L-39 jets. And they are going as slow as you would ever want to go in an L-39 jet.
An L-39 jet, is that like an aerobatics kind of
it's
show
a trainer.
jet?
There's a few of them in New Zealand. You can pick one up for about, $250,000. Ex-Czechoslovakian trainer. Pretty sexy.
Yeah.
But they're happier, going at like 200 knots. And these things are going on around 90, 95 knots to keep up with this slow guy in his jet. But pretty cool. I'm not sure what the practical applications are, but he's pretty happy.
How long do you think he can fly with that?
Oh, I hadn't looked it up. It'd be a small number of minutes.
Yeah.
Because the jets suck fuel really, really fast. So
And there's only so much fuel
and
he
if you
can.
carry more fuel, you'd be too heavy for the engines to keep you up. So it's a sort of a air-to-air refueling. That'd be the next step.
Yeah.
A trailing hose behind something, sort of snuggling behind it.
Nothing can go wrong. Nothing can go
What
wrong.
can possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. If you want to see the video of that one, look for Jetman and fighter jets. And finally, you're all enthused about some kind of device.
Some kind of device. Not that kind of device. I'm enthused about a New Zealand product called Spidertrack. And I'm enthused for a bad reason, and that was the helicopter that crashed last night looking at the Northland fires.
Yeah.
And it reminded me, because they're going, oh, well, we don't know where it is, and it took them till morning or to early morning to find the thing.
It's meant to have some kind of transponder that should go off.
Yeah, all aircraft in pretty much every developed nation in the world have to carry an emergency locator transmitter, and that's a little radio about the size of a date loaf that you might buy at the supermarket, that has a little crash switch. So if you crash, it starts sending a signal on a couple of frequencies. It sort of go wee wee wee, and allows the satellites and anyone flying around to find you. Problem is, these things often don't survive the crashes, because crashes being crashes, things get broken.
Yeah.
And the transmitter and the aerial are joined by a wire, and the aerial's on the outside of the aeroplane. If that wire breaks, you get no transmission.
Oh, of course.
So these New Zealand folks, following the death of that guy Michael Urseg, remember him? He was the guy who, if you've ever drunk a vodka cruiser, and I can see in your eyes that you drink a lot of vodka cruisers, you owe a debt of gratitude to Michael Urseg. He was the guy that set up that company back in the day, and he crashed his helicopter flying south, I think, to Wellington.
Right.
Just flew into a hill.
Okay.
His beacon didn't go off, because helicopter crashes, paradoxically, are sometimes so soft that they don't set off the crash switch.
Yeah.
Right. And he wasn't found for ages and ages and ages, and there was some speculation that he might have been alive for long enough to be found.
Yeah.
So Spidertracks operates the opposite way. It's a little box that sits on your dash of your aeroplane, and every 10 minutes the system says to the aeroplane, where are you? and the aeroplane says back, based on its GPS, I'm here. So you end up with dot, 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 dot on the map. And this happens every 10 minutes unless it doesn't. And if you crash, it doesn't. It just stops and stays. So no matter what happens to the aeroplane, you can still work out roughly where it is.
Roughly, you can fly a long way in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can, but most aeroplanes fly in straight lines. So you can sort of, you know pretty much where it's going to be. As opposed to, hey, I'm flying from Wellington to Auckland today, I'll be in Auckland sometime. And if your beacon doesn't go off, okay, you're anywhere in the North Island.
Because I think the public has this idea that you're always tracked by a radar somewhere.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, radar is very good when you can see in a straight line from your aeroplane to the radar transmitter receiver, of which there are, I think, half a dozen around the country. But that's fine if you're close to one or if you're really high. But if you're low, where most of the helicopters are and where most of the light aircraft are, radar is no help. No help at all.
Hey, talking about rain...
It's a sombre end. I hope you've got a positive end to this segment.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, talking about radar, have you seen the new almost real-time rain radar on the Met Service website?
No, finally.
Yeah,
have they?
every 7 minutes.
Seven minutes
but
is pretty good.
It's still pretty good. And
I need to look at that because Met Service is sort of famously niggardly about sort of releasing the data which, hey, we own. And it was until quite recently, I think you could only get a single rain radar image every 3 hours, which was next to useless. So,
and then it was hourly, and now it's here every 7 minutes.
Every 7 minutes. That's good because the data happens every second.
Yeah, of
so
course.
Why are they holding out? Come on.
And so it's quite cool when you push the play button, you can actually see those
get
clouds
an animation
rolling.
of the clouds coming through. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Something to look forward to.
All right, well, you can find this chat as a video once more up at tgf.co.nz. Find Vaughn Davis on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Vaughn Davis. Thanks very much.
Thank you.